We want revolution.
Bookmarklets on standby.
Log online, fan page loaded and ready.
Player stats, loaded. Health check, go.
Weapons check. Ice check, complete.
We have launched for the Informant podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Informant Podcast, your new source for information regarding Mafia wars from Zynga. Pistol Pete from Stockholm.
Live long and prosper.
And tonight I have with me Chainsaw Chester, Jana, Death by Gucci, and Jennifer, the Mafia Wars Loot Lady.
Are we recording?
It's recording.
Yeah. We do like a show.
Oh, it is that night.
Yeah.
Well, how's everybody doing?
So I'm happy
Why are you so happy?
because I've been looking at our stats.
Oh, yeah?
Stats have been rocking. Last month,
show.
yeah, for the show. So we've actually had the best month ever last month.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know that.
It was brilliant. Oh, yep. So it was over 21,000 listens last month.
Oh,
And
very nice.
that's pretty decent. You know, actually, our last, out of our last 10 shows, 5 of those, we've had over 2,000 listens each. And there's 2 more shows that are at like 19.8. So they will eventually catch up as well. So it's like 8 out of the 10 shows will be over 2,000.
And how are the
so
daily
thanks
players going? That's
they're
dropping
probably
still or
dropped
stabilizing?
by 4.5 million. We probably have like 22,000 people left.
2,200
Actually, I think we have
people.
like 2,500 people left now.
Well,
They all
eventually we'll
decided
have
to
them
show.
all.
That's right.
We'll all be listening.
To the dark side. But it's cool to see that. And a new country has creeped up into the top 5 for last month. And it was Sweden,
Ah.
all places.
That's where Martin's from.
Man. So I guess Martin's listening a lot now.
Awesome.
Well, I know he listens to us when he runs.
Him and Ike both are long-distance runners. They listen to the show while they run.
Oh,
See,
so
I'm
they
a long
can't
distance
play.
runner. I mean, it depends on how far my beer is away from me. But
I made it a whole block once.
however long it takes, man, I'm going to get it. Either that or I'm chased by a lion in like Kenya or something.
It's dedication.
That's right. But it's cool. So thanks to everybody in Sweden.
Yes.
And I got to say big props to the people that used to go to the old Lidmar. That place used to rock.
What are you talking about?
In Sweden, there was a hotel called the Lidmar Hotel. And downstairs they had a nightclub area. It was the bar and everything right there, the check-in area. They used to have concerts and everything. It was awesome. It was an absolute brilliant place to be.
And it's
Yeah.
not there anymore?
No, they shut it down, unfortunately. Because I tried to get back in. I went back there, and they had already shut it down. So that sucks. But hey, the whole city rocks. Absolutely
Awesome.
brilliant place. Absolutely brilliant place. One of the few places outside the U.S. that I would consider living.
Well,
So-
thanks for your support there.
Well, I'm just being dead serious. It's a great place. So
So
Yeah,
now he's marketing for the tourism board for Sweden as well.
I
That's right.
know.
You're trying to
Where
get
do you
all
wanna
these
go?
angles.
that's right. Hey, did you know that there are Logitech mice in Sweden?
It wouldn't surprise me. So, Pete, what's going on in Stockholm?
Running away from me.
Cutting you off.
Somebody had to. Well, a couple of things. The first one will be the family info. I don't know if anybody's used it before. I think Chester has.
Me.
What?
I use it.
Yeah.
I checked it out this week, too. It is really cool.
And the one thing that's in there, and I don't really talk about sometimes in detail some of the neat features in it. So when you run it from your family roster page, it gives you a listing of how many people you have in each of the different categories. So like in Chester's family, where he creates asshats and special names, it'll tell him how many he's identified as those. And
Have
then
you been peeking in on my family?
and
Yes.
then, and then the other, but the other thing is that you can now promote. And I did some Mafia cleanup using the Mafia manager and removed a whole bunch of people that weren't playing much anymore. And I deleted a few people from my top Mafia, so I had to refill the slots. And so I, went straight to the family info tool, loaded it up, picked a couple people to promote from within the family, and voila, worked like a champ. So anyway, that was good. And for those that don't know beyond that, though, that if you're ever on your My Mafia page, we have a really old Spocklet out there called Top Mafia, which lists your highest bonuses in each of the top Mafia slots. So you can quickly choose those that are going to give you the best stats in each of those different categories from your My Mafia page. So that's another nice one that's been out there a really long time and still works today. And then that leads into what still works today after numerous months of being shut down, Cuba.
Yay, Cuba's back.
We love it.
Cuba.
I think, yeah, everybody agrees.
Right, and with that, one of our Spocklets that goes back a long way was Repeat Job. And this was one of the first repeat jobs that we ever wrote that actually did, at the time, New York, Cuba, Moscow. And it was really interesting to kind of go back and look at like our first generations of Spocklets and then now compare that with like a repeat job for Brazil and just see how much we've really done and come a long way in the development of Spocklets, you know, or what were bookmarklets when it started, and now what are Spocklets for the Stockholm team. So it was
Bonus
really
drink.
interesting. Yeah, that's right. So it was really interesting to see the big change. The other one, I'm going to bounce back to the family for just a second again, is we have one called Family Friends. And it's a small one, and I believe it's on the experimental page of the Stockholm site. And what it does is it takes your family links and checks and finds out whether or not they're Facebook friends with you. So in our family, Spocks, the Spocktonians, they there's lots of people that get added and removed, and you know that a lot of new people, and so everybody may not be friends with the new people yet. And if you run that, it'll list them out and tell you whether or not they're friends or not. And if they're not friends, then there's an option to click a link and then add them as a friend. And so it makes it very easy to add them to your friends list. Now, for established families that have been around for a long time, chances of you needing that is slimmer than what it is for some group like ours. But anyway, nonetheless, it's out there. And that one was called Family Friends. So that's kind of it.
Well, thank you.
Sure, that's it.
That was exciting.
Thanks for sharing.
You guys suck. First time in a while I've had something to talk about, and now all of a sudden I get the 16 layers of sarcasm.
We were interested.
Yeah. For about 2 seconds, but anyway. So, but that's all we've really got going on right at the moment. Oh no, it's not.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna leak something, and the guys at Spockholm will kill me.
Okay.
Do it.
There's a boss fight Spocklet on the horizon for the family
Really?
boss fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
That
Yes.
was secret.
I think everybody's pretty sick of it in my family.
Yeah, and you know, I'm kind of trying to, you know, I don't know if it's the frustration over some of the stuff that you don't expect to work the way you expect it to work, or if it's just people are now fatigued and said, that was fun the first 50 times, and now I'm about giving up on it. I'm going back to doing what I normally do. I haven't figured out what that dynamic is yet, but
It causes drama too.
yeah,
That boss fight.
yeah.
Because
So I don't
someone's
know.
like, you don't do as much work as we do. It's not fair. You shouldn't get the loot.
Well, you know,
like that's going on in a lot of families.
I
Well,
know.
sure. I'm even, you know, I'm even caught myself doing that, looking at the stats, and I said to Ike and Martin, I said, you know, I almost want to have something that compares how a person performs in each and every fight. Because if you get someone in that goes in there and does like, you know, 5 attacks and 300 damage each and every fight you guys start going through, then you really got to start asking yourself the question of how dedicated are they to completing it. Now, granted, not everybody has that as part of their game strategy. So that's another factor entirely.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I just think because it's a permanent feature.
yeah.
You know, if you're doing it to benefit yourself, which you can if you attack when it's 5, because then you're getting a 3.0 ratio.
Right.
You know, and if everyone coordinates, and even if they don't want to do the work, they join the fight just so they can pass out the boosts and help those that are doing a lot of work.
Right.
You know, and not everyone has the resources to score high each time.
Well, especially true in like our family, because we have people from, as far down as level 175 all the way up through, 3000s, and then the 3000s, easily have above 10K in stamina, so obviously they're able to do a lot more fighting wise, but yeah, you're right. If they don't get those boosts, then there's no sense, because they're not going to burn, 15, 45 or 150 stamina a pop just to do it when you're turning a 0.23% ratio if you're burning 100 stamina
and
at a time.
I don't know, I just think it's not fair to put a lot of pressure on people that don't, because then they're going to feel guilted into using their stamina when they're getting that horrible ratio. They're not going to level,
Right.
and it's going to mess up their game,
Right.
all for peer pressure. And, some families are hitting it harder than other families, and it's a constant thing. And I don't know, I don't like to see people that don't have that stamina be kind of pressured into fighting.
Well, I guess the question then is, there needs to be, I guess, family conversation about if you're going to participate, then you have to at least be, maybe not so much the actual attacking, but you have to at least be able to send your gifts around, the boosts around.
The boost.
Right.
And if you're not doing that, then you shouldn't join the fight.
Right, and then less people will join and less boosts will go out if you say, okay, you have to score a certain amount.
Right.
Right.
Or you're going to get kicked out of the family. I don't like to see things like that, because it's a fun game. It shouldn't be, we shouldn't.
A chore. I'd
And
say our family was really active in it up until today, when we found something else to put our stamina into. But today's the slowest that I've seen the turnaround there. And it's people that hadn't participated so much before that are getting more of a chance today. So.
Right, and if your family is slower, like if the top guns slow down, then you do get a chance to get a higher score.
Mm-hmm.
But my
And the Top
family's
Guns
crazy.
did.
I can't even take a break without finding that they've already done a fight.
And that you need to collect already.
Yeah.
Or she missed it.
Yeah. Oh, I miss a lot of them.
Yeah.
We have a spreadsheet. We're keeping track of how many we've done. And if I look at the loot I have compared to how many fights there's been, I've missed probably over half of them.
So if you're not there to collect, it just moves on, and that's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you'll get to collect on the one you helped in prior to that. So if you, like, they've done 3 fights when you were offline, but you were in the last one, you can still collect your loot from the fight you helped in.
Okay.
And it is an equation to determine if you get loot or not. So if you do go in and just click once or twice, but so many others have helped more that it drives your percentage of the help into that fight, you won't get a loot item.
Right. Well, that should be interesting to see the bookmark, or the Spocklet, sorry, to help with that.
Yep. And I think that's it.
What's going on, Jen?
Oh, we kind of pretty much covered the bulk of it. Cuba being out, it's huge. Like, everyone's happy with it. It's fun to actually use your energy and feel like you're getting something out of it.
Yeah.
Because Brazil, it's like you click on 4 jobs and you're out of energy. Like,
Or you could be like Chester or me and do 1 or 2 jobs.
Right. And even if you do get a loot item from those, 1 to 4 jobs, big deal. So what I like about Cuba, it's kind of nostalgic, brings you back to when you actually love the game. And your energy just lasts a while and you feel like you're playing. And I think people are very happy with Cuba. Now, there's 10 new loot items that randomly drop. You can hover your mouse over the little loot icon to see what will drop in each job. And it's pretty much the same across the board. Instead of political corruptos, you need Cuban mercenaries, and they drop pretty easily. And there's so many ways to get them. You can get them from robbing, collecting on your properties, gifting through the free gifts, and gifting through the regular gift system. Nobody should be hurting for these things. And it's just fun to do the 4th level. And when you master all the jobs in the 4th level, you get a mastery item called the cigar box.
People that weren't finished with Cuba before it came back, are they still stuck like in their wherever they were?
Right. When you enter Cuba, you're exactly where you left off. So if you didn't get a chance to finish it, now you can.
Thank
the
God I finished. Okay.
there's the Old City Mastery boost. You get 3 times the mastery
That's
for
nice.
each pick, and you'll find the 4th level across the board. Each job gives you 3% mastery with this bonus. It's all set for 1%, but the lower levels have higher, so you can get through those pretty quickly.